Yo, what's up guys? Bajheera here. So for this video, I want to take you guys through my Slayer Fury Mythic Plus build. So we've been doing a fair amount of Mythic Plus recently. It's been kind of something fun to do. It's easy to log in and queue up with the boys. We got a lot of Mythic Plus pumpers in the stream, so it's been fun to run with those guys. Working on like a 3K Mythic Plus rating. Got all our 12s done, so that's pretty cool. And the build that we've been playing primarily to do that has been Slayer Fury. So Slayer has been a big single target thing for a while, but they fairly recently buffed the 4 set, which I'll show you, which makes Raging Blow damage increased by 10%, which is great. The big thing is Raging Blow has a 2% chance per stack of Overwhelmed on the target to trigger Reap the Storm at 150% effectiveness. So Reap the Storm is this little thing. I don't know if it'll proc. You kind of do like a little whirlwind off of you know, Bloodthirst sometimes. If it ever procs, we'll see. But the big thing is, and then that little thing right there, it applies to stack of Overwhelmed. You get Overwhelmed primarily from Bladestorming and having Reap the Storm go off. So basically what happens is you Bladestorm a big pack, and then you have a like 20% chance, basically like per target, to Reap the Storm. So you end up having like 4 targets, even 3 targets right here. It's like a 60% chance for this thing to go off. So you'll see it went off 3 out of 3 times there whenever I pressed Raging Blow. And that allows you to do quite a bit of cleave, quite a bit of AoE, which is what you need in Mythic Plus, right? So as a result, we've been able to play Slayer a lot in Mythic Plus, which has been super fun. And the build that we're doing for that is this. So I don't know, this is, I don't think, the standard build. But one of my buddies on Twitch, Mr. Regular Special, shout outs to him. He was wondering if we could get Odyn's Fury in the build, and Odyn's Fury has been one of my favorite abilities for a long time. So being able to put that back in the build has been fun, and it gives you like pretty dang reliable AoE burst every 45 seconds or so. And we can put the import link in the description for you guys. This should look relatively familiar to people who have played Warrior, and if you haven't played Warrior, this is pretty standard stuff. There's a couple things that you can move around, but one of the main things that we've done is we've taken out a whole lot of this left side of the tree so that we've been able to put it in this side of the tree. So Odyn's Fury with the Titanic Rage makes Odyn's Fury deal more damage and gives you 4 stacks of Whirlwind and enrages you, which is a pretty big deal because that's going to let you just kind of keep hammering Raging Blow, which is what you want. So the things that actually affect Raging Blow on the tree, like this kind of thing, makes Raging Blow deal more damage, has a chance to reset its own cooldown, and this gives you a charge of Raging Blow, like for sure, whenever you rampage. So these two things combined can make it so that you're feeding yourself lots of Raging Blow procs. So again, your burst is what this is going to kind of look like. You charge in. With the way that I have it set up, you will enrage on the first hit, but I guess we didn't do it because we've been hitting this dummy. But I like I like fresh meat because it enrages you the first time you strike a target. So when you charge into a new pack, you should just be able to Bladestorm and then enrage. But since we hit the target already, it wasn't doing that. Then you just go to work, hammering out your Raging Blow hits. But when you have Odyn's Fury and Dragon Roar, we can show you. Yeah, I'll get my attack back up. We'll get Bladestorm and Wreck back up. And you're gonna be able to get the cooldowns of Recklessness and Bladestorm down to around 45 seconds or even less. Like we just executed, and it took the cooldown from like 30 seconds to just off cooldown of Bladestorm. And then so you could rip the Bladestorm again, like right now if you wanted to. If it's another big pack, you should just kind of just let it rip because it is a pretty high momentum build. We can talk about rotation in a second. I just want to show you the basics. But we've got like a fresh pack, right? Charge in, Bladestorm, it will enrage you immediately. You come out of the Bladestorm, Dragon Roar, Odyn's Fury, and just start hammering Raging Blow. You'll Whirlwind, you'll Rampage to get your enrage back up. Those are pretty much the 2 buffs that you're interested in maintaining throughout the course of your deeps is enrage and the meat cleaver, which you have from your talents as well. And then outside of that, you're just blasting Raging Blow as much as you possibly can. Remember, understanding that you get Raging Blow stacks from pressing Rampage, basically. So just all you got to do is just manage your Whirlwinds and your Rampage and hammer Raging Blow. And it's pretty fun. The addition of Odyn's Fury is also pretty dang fun. Using it the way I'm using it isn't the most efficient. Like, you could use Odyn's Fury potentially instead of Whirlwind one time, so it will enrage you and it will give you Whirlwind stacks, so it will do more damage than that. I just think it's kind of fun to just charge in, just press everything every like 45 seconds or so. And that's how that works. In terms of like the WeakAuras for this, by the way, I'm not really going in any particular order. The WeakAuras are like really simple to make. If you want a Whirlwind and Enrage WeakAura, you can just go like pre-made auras, go icon, do whatever size you want. Click the buff, and then track the buff for Meat Cleaver or the Whirlwind, and then track the buff for Enrage. I mean, I already have one, so I don't necessarily want to remake it, but that's really all you have to do. So it's not a very complicated WeakAura, just put it wherever you want. Or you can just use WoW, and they'll probably track your Enrage and your Whirlwind just fine. If you use like the personal resource display, that'll be fine too. But some fun things you might want to remember for this are the 2 macros. So you can have a macro that just will cast Recklessness, put you in Berserker Stance. I'm not using Ravager or Spear, but if you want to drop it one of those right at your feet, you can. I have it casting Avatar. I have it casting Bladestorm and using whatever trinkets I might have that are on use, and even using a potion. And just doing that will allow you to charge in, and then press this macro a couple times, and you'll rip a Bladestorm with Recklessness. And the second one that you'll press is this one. This cast sequence, reset equals 45, Thunderous Roar, Odyn's Fury with Recklessness. Once you've charged in and you're enraged and stuff, you do your Bladestorm, boom. Thunderous Roar, boom. Odyn's Fury, you're enraged, you have Whirlwind stacks ready to go. You're going to work. And you'll be proccing the heck out of Reap the Storm as well. The one thing that I have to like get my brain to do less of is just hammer Rampage whenever it's available. Raging Blow is like your main thing, right? As long as you have your Whirlwind stacks up. This is for AoE. You don't need Whirlwind stacks for a single target. But as long as you have your Whirlwind stacks up and you're enraged, you're hammering Raging Blow. You run out of Raging Blow charges, you Rampage. You know, we ran out of Whirlwind stacks, so we Whirlwind. We're back out of Rampage stuff. Back out of Enrage, so Rampage again. Just keep hammering Raging Blow. And if you're doing it right, in like a big fight, you'll look at your damage, and Reap the Storm will be like your highest DPS in like a big pull, your highest damage ability. If you're doing it right, that's what it looks like, which is pretty funny when you think about it. But in terms of stats for this build, we are doing a lot of haste and mastery. To my crafted pieces, I'm using the Ascension, or the Ascendance two-hander, and I'm using the Writhing little armor enchant to double the effectiveness of this, but I'm going haste mastery as much as I can. My gear is definitely not perfect, but haste mastery, the stats that I'm interested in primarily. You don't really need crit because you get so much crit from Recklessness and stuff. Versatility is fine because it helps you stay alive in like high keys where there's just lots of damage going out, but primarily for DPS you want a ton of mastery. And since I have so much haste, I'm able to use powerful enrage, which just kind of feels good, makes your enrage last a little bit longer, and you would do more damage. The movement speed on Frenzied Enrage is super nice, but there comes a time where it's like, I don't need to be having like 80% haste the entire dungeon, you know what I mean? Like, that's just a lot of buttons. But you could if you wanted to. But that's primarily what we're looking for. Using 4-set, lots of haste mastery. I mean even enchanting for, oh, by the way, this ring isn't even enchanted. Okay, that's a new ring. Let's get an enchant on there. So this is of course something I intended to do in the video. You would just go to enhancements, you'd go to finger, and you'd go to mastery. Of course, this is something that I definitely wanted to show off, not just forgot to enchant my ring there. Go down to Radiant Mastery, chuck that bad boy on there. You probably could do like Cursed, where it detracts from crit or something, and then it gives you mastery, but nah, I don't really want to lose any stats at all. So we'll chuck that on my ring. Big gains. So we're enchanting for mastery. My weapons are enchanted. One of them is enchanted with Radiant Power. The other one, I'm trying Stormrider's Fury for the haste. Enchanting for mastery on rings. Enchanting for speed still on my boots and bracer. There's an argument to be made for like avoidance, for like just taking less AoE damage, or maybe even leech for PvE, something like that. But all in all, I think that about covers the build. We've got the talents for you. We'll put this in the video. We've got the stats, which is 4-set haste mastery prio for that. For rotation, you're managing your enrage, you're managing your whirlwind stacks. For your big burst, you're charging in using the the Wreck Bladestorm macro, it's not proccing Enrage for me because we already hit this dummy recently. But then after that, you will be Enraged, and if you're not, I guess you just let it rip with a Dragon Roar and Odin's Fury combo, and then you're off to the races, maintaining your Enrage, hammering Raging Blow as much as possible, and doing a lot of damage with Reap the Storm, ideally. It's a pretty fun build. If you guys like Slayer Fury, it's a good way to be able to finally play some Slayer Fury in PvE, in Mythic Plus, that is, because usually you play Thane or really just play Arms, but now Fury's pumping pretty good, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I love playing Fury, so if I can play Fury in Mythic Plus, we'll do it, and we have been. Almost 3K, I suppose, so hopefully that video will help you guys get started, tearing it up in PvE as Slayer Fury. The rotation's going to take just a little bit of practice, especially if you're like me and you're used to pressing Rampage as much as possible in PvP, then just gotta take a little bit of practice. But because of the cooldown reduction that you get from Anger Management and the cooldown reduction you get from Unrelenting Assault, it ends up being a really fast-paced thing where you have, you know, really fun cooldowns like every pull, and sometimes multiple cooldowns per pull. It's a lot of fun. Hope you guys like it, and we'll be testing it out quite a bit more on stream, but I did want to make a quick little build video for you guys because I think you might like it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you on stream. Peace.